Did you know that there's 3 different ways to make your skin look more tan, but that some of them are safe, and one of them in particular is quite dangerous? Let's learn all about it today. Hi, my name is Dr. Nick. I'm a board-certified dermatologist, and I'm passionate about many things, but especially talking about science, talking about active ingredients, and empowering you to make really informed decisions about your personal skin routine and skin choices. I think everybody should have access to knowledge about the science of what we put on our skin, why it works, so that you can make your own choices and decide among all the different brands and all the different options that are out there. So let's talk first about tanning with UV light. That's the first way to tan. And this is the way that I'll tell you not to do it. Do not do this. When your skin gets tan with ultraviolet light, it's a defense mechanism by your body to the damage that this type of light causes. I'm going to give you an analogy. This is similar to somebody who goes to the gym and lifts weights and develops calluses on their hands. Now, weightlifting is a great form of exercise, and this is not a perfect analogy, but it still works. So by repeatedly exposing your hands to these weights, your skin gets thicker and gets damaged, and you build up these calluses. And a very similar thing happens when your skin gets repeatedly exposed to UV light. UV light comes in different flavors. There's UVA, which is slightly lower energy, and UVB, which is higher energy. And they're both dangerous. UVA light causes skin aging, and UVB light is particularly bad because it raises your risk of getting skin cancer. So UVA, skin aging, UVB, also bad because of the skin cancer risk. So one type of tanning that's very dangerous is using a tanning booth. It exposes you to huge amounts of concentrated ultraviolet light. Most of it is UVA light, but in such high amounts, it does significantly increase your risk of developing skin cancers down the line. And there have been many studies done that this risk is real, and the risk for melanoma, which is a particular type of dangerous skin cancer, is increased from this type of tanning bed. So never tan in one of these. One type of routine that I've read about in social media is gradual tanning. People will propose going out into the sun and using a low SPF sunscreen, or going out in the sun with short intervals and increasing the interval over time. And what this is meant to do is to expose your skin to the sun in increasing gradual amounts so that you build up a tan over time. I do agree that this is potentially safer than getting a really bad burn or to go into a UV tanning salon, but I would still recommend avoiding this. What it means is that over time you're exposing your body to this UV light and you're accumulating all this damage. It will cause increased skin aging, it will cause you to have wrinkles and sun-damaged skin when you get older. So even this gradual type of tanning, I would avoid. So my recommendation for tanning with UV light is to use good sun protection when you go outside. SPF 30 at least, make it broad spectrum, and I'll make a separate video going through my favorite sunscreens and how to apply them and what to look for in the ingredients. But your goal when you're going outside should never be to get tan. You probably will still get tan with enough sun exposure because no sunscreen is perfect, no sun protection is perfect, but that shouldn't be your goal. It just may happen, but you should always try to not get tan and be protected. All right, tanning method number 2. And now we're getting into the safe tanning methods. And tanning method number 2 uses a chemical called dihydroxyacetone, or DHA for short. DHA is a simple chemical. It's actually a sugar, and it's usually derived from things like sugar beets and sugar cane. For all of you foodies out there, since we're already on the subject of food, the way that DHA works is similar to something that we're familiar with when making a nice sear on a steak or baking a nice loaf of brioche. This is called the Maillard reaction. And the way it works is a sugar and an amino acid, which is a building block of proteins, they interact and produce this type of color. And this is essentially what you're doing to your skin when you put DHA on it. So DHA goes right on top of the skin just at the very surface. And it interacts with the amino acids that are already present in the skin to give it a brown color. There's only 3 elements that impact the depth of the tan that you get as part of your routine. And these ones are the concentration of DHA, the length of time that you leave it on your skin, and number 3 is the frequency with which you apply this DHA product. So now that we got that out of the way, it really becomes simple. Now you're just down to choosing the right formulation for you. And the formulations that DHA comes in are foam, which is also called mousse, lotion, spray, and oil drops. So now you might ask me, well, we're talking about these formulations and what makes them different from one another. The active ingredient is all the same, it's DHA, but the formulation will change things as how easy it is to apply on your skin and how quickly is that DHA delivered to your skin. Remember, it's a simple chemical reaction. The important thing is to take the DHA and apply it as evenly as possible throughout your body so that your tan comes out looking even. Whichever formulation you're using, there's 3 rules that I want you to follow. So first is always do a test spot on the skin. We do this in the clinic too. If I'm doing a laser treatment on somebody, some cosmetic procedure, I'll always do a test spot initially in one location to see how the skin responds to it. So if you have an important event coming up, don't try your new self-tanner all over your body. Try some covered area, so maybe like your thigh or your stomach if you're not going to be exposing that. And just to see what the finished product will look like. The second tip that I have is to always exfoliate before your self-tanner treatment. The reason for this is that, like I mentioned, the chemical reaction, the whole magic of the process happens in the top layer of the skin. So before you do the treatment, you want to make sure that the top layer of the skin is as prepared as possible. So you want to remove all the old dead skin, because if you get DHA in there and then it just sheds in a couple days, then you will lose your tan more quickly and it will become uneven. So the third tip that I have is be mindful of your hands. Your hands are covered with skin just like the rest of your body. So when DHA comes in contact with the hands, it will stain. One option is to wear gloves and be protected, and that's what I would recommend. A lot of people online will mention that DHA will stain the creases of your hands. So you have to be really mindful of this area because, in skin folds, skin products tend to pool. And you will get a lot of staining in this area if you're not careful. So now let's talk about the different formulations one by one. The mousse is probably my go-to for self-tanning at home. Because it's a foam, it allows for really easy application all over the body, and it's smooth to apply and easy to get an even layer. The other advantage of the mousse is that the delivery of DHA is a little bit faster. So you would need fewer treatments, and the treatments will leave you with a darker tan in the end. The second type of formulation to use is the lotion. So a lotion is, as the name would suggest, it's just the cream that you apply all over the skin. Similar to the mousse, the active ingredient is the same, but the difficulty of applying it is a little bit higher. It's a little bit tougher to get lotion spread evenly all over the body. The advantage of the lotion is that because the delivery of DHA is not as quick as with the mousse, the lotion gives a more gradual and a lighter tan. So if you're looking for a more subtle result, then lotion may be a better choice. The third option is a spray tan. Spray tanning at home is challenging because, again, you have to apply the spray tan evenly all over your body. So this wouldn't be my go-to if you're doing it at home because it's hard to apply a very even coat. So this is something that I would reserve for doing it with a professional and going to a salon to really have them do this for you. They have really good protocols there if you go to a trusted place, and you'll come out really liking your result. The fourth option is oil drops. And these are exceptionally hard to apply an even layer all over your body, and they're actually quite expensive compared to the other methods. So I really would reserve this treatment just for the face. And the way you would use the oil drops is apply them to the face as part of your routine, And maybe you could do this once a day in the morning for a couple of days until you're happy with the depth of the tan that you have, and leave it there. Again, I would recommend protecting your hands when you do this, or if you do get some on your hands, to really wash them quickly afterwards. With any of these methods, remember, DHA is just giving you a temporary browning of the skin, and it doesn't actually impact the biology of your skin. So you're still susceptible to getting sun damage. Remember that you have to wear your sunscreen and have to stay sun protected. All right, so now we got to option number 3. What if you want to tan safely, you don't want to use UV light, and you don't want to use DHA? For whatever reason, it's totally fine. I do think that DHA is safe. It's a simple chemical. It's excreted in a simple way by the body. But some people would want to stay away from it and avoid it, which is completely reasonable. And some people may be allergic to it, which can also happen. So people get allergic to certain active ingredients all the time. And in dermatology, our goal is to educate you on other options. So the other options is to use a self-tanner that does not have DHA. The way these work is just by containing some kind of pigment that will stay on your skin until you wash it off. One of the advantages of using these over something that contains DHA is that it might be temporary. So if you're using something that just has a pigment in it that you can wash away, then you can put this on before an important event, let's say a wedding or a photo shoot or a dance competition, and then you can just wash it off when you're done. So what are the active ingredients that these products contain? Some of these products will have mineral oxides. So usually it's something that is an iron oxide, which will give your skin a temporary bronze color. Interestingly, this is also the same active ingredient that's used in tinted sunscreens, which we'll talk about in another video. There are some products that will use plant extracts. These are things like walnut extract or henna. And then lastly, some of these products may contain caramel or other similar type of organic colorants that will act similarly by bronzing your skin, and then you can wash it off and it will go away. So that just about wraps up our video. We talked about the true or real way to tan, which is using UV light, and why that's dangerous and why you should avoid it. A lot of self-tanning products use DHA, which is a safe chemical, and it works by a safe reaction called the Maillard reaction to give your skin a temporary brown color. And there's different formulations with this one. And then there's bronzers that use no DHA at all, and these can have the advantage of being completely temporary. So now I hope that you feel very well equipped to give your skin the tan complexion that you desire. See you in the next one.